Hello and welcome on 360 Sports. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, it's time to talk sports again as we look at activities in the world of football. First, recently, the European Club Association actually wrote to talking about concerning the players from the EPL coming to Africa to play in the CAF, that is AFCON, Africa Cup of Nations. That will be coming up in Cameroon in 2022, January 9th to February 6th. As it is, a lot of news flying around that AFCON could be cancelled or postponed due to the fact that ECA requested for the cancellation or the postponement, whereby they are saying their players will not be released because of that. They will not be allowing the players to move down to Africa to play AFCON, and because of that, AFCON may not come up or be postponed. Well, CAF right now, they've debunked that particular claim after the news came out that about the cancellation, and we are here to discuss that. Joining me in the studio is Sunday Onuyenu and also Ibrahim Mohammed. Good to have you gentlemen in the studio.
It's always a pleasure, Adeni.
Thank you.
Good one. Now, looking at this particular topic I just raised now, looking at what happened, where European Club Association are looking at their own side, not considering African side, by saying, oh, because of the players, because of COVID, as they cited COVID issue, that if these players come to Africa, this and that, well, there is COVID in Europe, that's one. Two, these players, if they come playing in EPL and coming to play in AFCON, by the time they return to Europe, this, that. But the funniest thing is that it's as if there is even more COVID in Europe than in Africa right now. And you look at, if they should do that, it means, what about CONCACAF? What about CONBOL? That is South America, North American matches. What about Asia? All these games they play. In fact, all the games where the European players, the one that plays in Europe, goes to those continents to play football. Why is always Africa that it's always so difficult to let players come?
You see, one of the main problems that AFCON usually faces whenever AFCON comes around is always the timing. We've always had a problem with the timing of the AFCON. You understand? Coming in January, that's the second part of the season after the Christmas break. So most of these European clubs are really reluctant to release their players to play in the AFCON because of the timing it comes during the season. There was a time, I think it was stated that AFCON was going to be moved to the summer. You understand? So that it can come in the off-season, just like the European Championships and whatnot. But we still have this problem coming up again. And of course, let's not beat around the bush about this. The European Club Association are not really looking after the welfare of the players. They're looking after their bottom line. You understand? If these players come, play AFCON, and go back and they get injured, and they stay on the sidelines for like 3 months. By the time you stay on the sidelines for 3 months from February, you understand? So you have March, April, May. The season is over. So that means those players will not be able to give the club what they actually want. And they feel they pay these players the big bucks. So they should be able to be fit for them at all times. So most of the problems that we have when we talk about AFCON is the timing of the AFCON. That's when it comes. So that's where the problem lies. When you talk about CONMEBOL, when you talk about CONCACAF, most of these things come in the off-season. You understand? But AFCON usually comes in the middle of the season. That is why we have these problems.
So, okay, Sunday, do you agree with that? Issue of timing is part of it, yes. Is there any other thing you want to see? Maybe the reason why this issue of, although they cited COVID-19 as a reason why they won't allow, but we know the bottom line is to make sure they keep those players to play in the English Premier League.
I agree with him a bit, but
or European League.
Most especially what I've noticed is the interest of these teams. You know, the teams feel they have procured the players. They are 100% in possession of the players. So for them going back to their originator country or coming to Africa to play the AFCON is just like lending them out, and they just have to, most occasions also they might have to come back with unexpected incidents. So I feel it's more of the interest, and as well as the timing is not really balanced. I hope they look into it in the nearest future. AFCON is just coming up because it's the 7th edition, and so many people are looking forward to it. And Samuel Eto'o has the highest goal scorer in the history of AFCON. He's looking forward to it being a Cameroonian. So I believe they should just allow it to come to pass.
Well, as it is right now, looking at this issue on ground, I think it's high time that you know, at times when you look at the African-based footballers, like where we have you know, that they now carve it out to have another competition for them.
Yes.
CHAN.
CHAN, exactly.
The championship, African Championship, where the home-based African players can also play. I see it as a way of, to me, it looks like, oh, are we trying to create inferiority complex for ourselves? Look at it this way. Have you ever seen where in Europe they have the home-based competition? Does it happen in Europe?
No.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in Combo, it doesn't happen in CONCACAF, it doesn't happen in all the other. I still don't understand if CAF really took time to look at that by, okay, creating CHAN just to give credential opportunity for the home-based African players. It's as if we are making it look as if, oh, okay, just to make you guys happy, we are creating this so that you can have time to also play, because by the time they want to play AFCON, it's majority of those players from Europe are
foreign-based players, exactly. And when you look at it, if we are truly being honest, how much buzz does CHAN really create? You understand how many people are actually looking forward to? Oh, they're going to play CHAN this year. I don't even know when the next edition is coming. You understand?
Because it doesn't have that.
Exactly, it doesn't have that appeal. It doesn't have that appeal because most of the people that actually come to watch AFCON, they are really after these to watch these foreign-based players, because under normal circumstances they might not get to see them perform on that particular stage because you'll have to travel to where they are to be able to see them. But now they're being brought home to you. So most of the people actually look forward to these tournaments because of these guys, you know. So, and if you have a tournament whereby these guys are not there, then
it won't appeal to people.
Exactly. And while we're still on this subject, Adini, I really wanted to push something to you right now. I mean, like, this is an ongoing debate. It has been going on for a very long time. I just want to get your take on this. Club versus country. Which should take precedence?
I think country should come first. Yes, from my own view. You know why? It can actually come in two ways. Number one, club or country. The first one is that, okay, if you are born in that country and it's not as if you are trying to naturalize because you were born in Europe, they need to play for Nigeria because they look at, oh, you are playing in Watford, you are playing in Leicester, nobody knows you were born there and now they want you to come and play for Nigeria. That's another case entirely. But let's look at where you play in Nigeria, in fact on the streets, nobody give a damn about you and you were able to, one way or the other, get to Europe, and now people are like, oh, Osimhen, oh, Nigerian star player in Napoli, and they now say, come and play for Nigeria. You should count as a honor for you to play, because you know why? There are so many better Osimhen out there who never got the chance to be called. Better than you. Even you yourself knows that maybe all the teams you play against while you were here in Nigeria, you've seen so many star players. It's just like when you are in school, you know people that this person is more brilliant than I am. But you know that, okay, even if you are brilliant, you know that there are some people out there who actually are more brilliant than you. So if you have not been given the chance, the opportunity to now represent your school, that doesn't mean, or your state, or your country, that doesn't mean there is another Ibrahim somewhere who is more brilliant, but he doesn't have the chance. Okay, look at us here now talking. There are so many sport pundit, presenters, anchors, analysts out there who are far, far better, but they don't have the chance. Now, the chance you are having, take good use of it. For the players being called to come and represent Nigeria, is an opportunity that, oh, come and represent your fatherland. Okay, you that you have been given birth to in England or Austria or Germany, and they now say, okay, come and play for Nigeria. We've seen a situation whereby some players, just because England doesn't want to call them, they now remember that, oh, there's a country called Nigeria now. They want to come and play.
Exactly.
You understand? When the issue of Odoye started, like Joe, oh, Odoye going to play for England, Tammy Abraham. Now, what's happening now? I'm sure they have the chance now to retrace their step. They will prefer to play for Nigeria.
We've had incidences like it for a very long time. I mean, like people like John Fashanu had that issue, John Salako, Ugo Ihiogu,
Ruben Agbola,
all these guys. You understand? They played for England at one particular level, and then they couldn't cut it at senior level. And if they had the chance, they would have come back. But the thing is, you made mention of the fact that most of these players actually discovered from the national team, or they get to the national team and that takes them to the international stage where they get picked up by these clubs. So what of the situation whereby these clubs actually feel, just like Sunday alluded to earlier, they pay the big bucks for these players. So I should have the offer of first refusal. If I don't want to release this player to come for AFCON, then I should, because I actually pay him these big bucks and I pay him weekly wages. But the national team, maybe they pay him like once a year or something like
but
that.
you look at the fact that, okay, maybe somebody should take on this. Look at the fact that it's not every time they play the national team matches. So if you are paying the big buck, but the player is always with you 24/7. It's always with you every time. So once in a while that they come to play for their country, it's not, maybe in a year they play, no matter how long the matches they will play a year, let's say five matches or 6 matches. That's if they have competition like qualifiers for World Cup or Nations Cup or what else, friendly. So how many times they play in a year that you can say, okay, go and play for your country? Your team play from May till August, right? That's it. So if you do it that way, then you should understand that you are the one holding them, signing them, that you want them to be your player. Nobody forced you to. Nobody forced you.
Maybe there should be a clause in individual contracts.
It boils down to what CAF is interested in now. I think they might possibly just have to sign a memorandum of understanding, or possibly try to curtail the claims of this club ownership, being the fact that you're from a country, you just have to attend to national call. It has to be a compulsory thing if you have the privilege to do so. Because I see no reason why somebody had a chance, he or she has a chance to represent his or her father's land or a nationality where he belongs, and he or she is still restricted by the club, because you cannot give the club 100% attention. There are occasions you go on holiday. There are occasions you go on injuries. So what will happen in between? So why can't you balance it a bit, maybe 70-30? So CAF need to come and have an agreement with the club owners, possibly the European club, so to speak, because it's affecting the whole lot of players' career. And for me, is downcasting, and is also a painful part of it, that is also limiting them to exploit their talent. What about talking about the cultural integration? I mean, those who don't even master their language, those who don't even know their roots more or less, because they were told they are from this place and they don't have the chance to get close to people from their place. So I believe CAF can come into agreement with these people so that it won't look as if they are only limited to just their club activities. Because in football, even in sports, is a secular ground, is where you can learn and integrate and improve. So for those who are having privilege to play CHAN, they should continue playing CHAN. But they should also make CHAN a very popular and advertised or glamorous platform for any other players that don't have chance to play far away in Europe.
Well, we've been talking concerning CAF, debunking the rumors going around that AFCON, African Cup of Nations 2022 rather, has been cancelled. Well, it has not been cancelled according to the Confederation of African Football, that particular competition must hold. Forget about the letter written by ECA. They are standing by on their own stand that they won't change it. Well, if you like, don't let your players come. We'll let the AFCON continue. That's what CAF actually is saying right now. Well, we've been deliberating on that, and right now, still in the studio, we quickly look at some fixtures that will be coming up in the La Liga, Serie A, and also not forgetting Bundesliga. Quickly, we look at the La Liga fixtures that will be coming up. A match there, a lot of matches for this weekend that will be coming up in this weekend. Well, just quickly look at La Liga fixture now, as those matches are right now. Well, as it is, I think matches are going to be coming up this weekend in all the top all the leagues in Europe. We have so many Nigerians who will be playing, and so some of them, since Osimhen had that injury, where you can pick out Awoniyi for Union Berlin, who is
in Germany.
Germany, trying to at least get his act together. You can pick this Watford guy, Emmanuel Dennis. Isaac
Success.
Isaac Success is also not Isaac Success now.
Simeon.
Well, as it is right now, the fact that in Udinese we have Success there, who's also doing his best there, trying to see how he can get his act together. A lot of Nigerians in Europe this season, even though they are doing well, but they are not in those clubs that you can think of. Majority are in, maybe you can rate them as second
division clubs or average clubs.
They don't have They don't have that. We cannot attach much importance to those leagues. Moldova, playing Cyprus, and all that.
Exactly.
The few ones that are playing in Germany are top flights. Top flight, German Bundesliga, English Premier League,
Italian
and all
Serie
that.
A, yeah.
Except you can pick out Dennis Emmanuel, Bonaventure, and then you just move straight to Germany and look at Awoni, Leicester, Iheanacho, and Ndidi. And before you close your eyes, you'll be like, who else?
Exactly. And you know, the problem is some of these clubs, I'm so sorry, some of these leagues don't have the interests that maybe like the Premier League commands. You understand? Because there are a smattering of players when you look at it in the Serie A. We have a smattering of Nigerian players. I mean, we have this we have Simi Nwankwo.
As you just mentioned Simi Nwankwo, now look at the club. Salernitana, as we speak, are even begging that they should allow them to stay in the league. They've not been winning, and if you are playing Italian Serie A, in fact, almost all the leagues, there should be amount of losses, amount of like at least a particular number you must win,
numbers of
and they are not meeting up. You should be out, just like the way it happens to Parma. You understand?
Yes, at one point.
So, okay, over there, we just saw Celta Vigo. They were playing against Espanyol in La Liga fixture. Maybe we should deliberate on that quickly. This is the match that will be coming up today in the La Liga fixture. So far, it's just a match. The rest will be for Saturday and on Sunday.
Well, I'm rooting for Espanyol for now because head-to-head, I think they stand more better chance to beat Celta Vigo.
Okay, that's from Sunday there, at least agreeing with Espanyol. You're standing with Celta Vigo, right?
No, he's Espanyol.
Espanyol, okay, you tell me maybe because from the city of Barcelona. That's now we're still looking at the other matches that have become. Now let's quickly go to Serie A there. Let's at least that will be for Ibrahim, where Lazio will be facing Genoa, and you have Salernitana, the team you just mentioned. We have two Nigeria there. We have Simeon Nwankwo and also an Obi there. Inter Milan. Obi will be facing his former club, Inter Milan, Salernitana. Simeon Nwankwo is also there. But lately, even though he always score, but it's the teams he plays for.
Yes, you know, he was in Spezia last season. You understand, and it didn't really work out. You know, but he scored I think he scored upwards of 20 goals last season.
I was with Crotone.
Crotone, yes. Sorry, not Spezia, because they went down. Spezia is actually in the Serie A still now. So when Crotone went down, he came back up with Salernitana, and he still gets the goals.
I was even thinking when Crotone went down, maybe another team from the Serie A would pick Simeon Nwankwo. I was surprised that Salernitana that got promoted is the team that he went for, because most of the time, most newcomers don't have the muscle to withstand the heat in the league. And look at what is happening to Salernitana now. I only wish and pray that they
won't go down again.
They will eventually relegate.
If they do go down, you probably find another club coming up to pick him up again from Serie B. Exactly. And you understand, but he does his own part. You understand. He scores a lot of goals, but it doesn't make sense if you got beat 5-1 and you're the one who scored the one goal. You understand. So, and that's what's happening to Simi right now. And it's disheartening for us Nigerians that we actually want to see our players doing well, winning trophies with these players, with these clubs as well. And we need someone like him now that Osimhen is not around to actually step up so that we can actually have that classic number 9 that can lead the line for us.
Maybe he needs to step into more of prayers. You know, in sports, you have to be doing well, you have to be hardworking, and also pray more. Possibly the luck of sport has to come to merge with his hard work.
So Inter Salernitana, what's your take?
Okay, well, you know, I'm always very careful when it comes to prediction. You know why? At times, remember you mentioned Granada.
Yes.
That they will win.
Exactly.
They were spanked. They were one.
They whitewash. Eventually lost.
Exactly.
They lost by 5-0. Imagine if someone was actually like, oh, this person picked Granada, that Granada will win.
And he went and he said there was an expert that actually said something like that.
So now, as it is right now, I'm standing aloof there. I'm not supporting anyone. Let the best team win. Seriously, Inter Milan for Lazio versus Genoa. Well, because I think Lazio they play in Rome, the city of Rome. That's their home. As it is, well, if you want to look at the standard of players there, you might want to give it to Lazio. But at times, never do that because of what I just mentioned concerning Granada. So let's quickly look at Coupe de France, the match that will come up in Coupe de France quickly before we also look at the last story. Coupe de France fixtures quickly there, where Paris FC will be playing against Lyon also in the Coupe de France. That will be coming up. A lot of people might mix it up. It's Paris FC, not PSG. They are it's just like you have Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. So this is Paris FC be facing Lyon. That will be coming up also today in Coupe de France. And now another story we're going to look at is Junior Ajayi, a Nigerian player that plays in Egypt. Junior Ajayi plays in Egypt. Right now he has passed with Al Ahly. He used to be one of their kings. One of their kings. In fact, a force to be reckoned when it comes to football in Egypt. That is the league football club there. You see, Junior Ajayi, when he came, everybody was like, "Oh wow, this night!" And he was scoring.
He had a fantastic run in the first season with 12 goals, 7 assists, and astonishing finishing for his start.
Now, Junior Ajayi is no longer having that particular opportunity, or he had to part way with that club. It started like a joke, as if it's a little misunderstanding between him and the club management. But now everything blew to become a bit controversial. Now he had to leave that team. Finally, Ajayi is off from Al Ahly, and it's not something good at all.
Well, it's not good for Nigerian football when you look at it. But you see, the problem is football now transcends what you do on the pitch sometimes. You understand? And we always have this saying that in football, you're always as good as your last game. You know, maybe he had a poor patch. He couldn't actually get over that particular funk, and they saw it as him being now a liability instead of an asset that he was before. Or, just like you alluded to, he could have had a little issue with the manager. Because now we know how powerful managers can actually be in clubs. If a manager doesn't really like you, you won't be able to cut it, no matter how it is. So there could be a combination of factors why Ajayi actually is leaving Al Ahly now, no matter how good he used to be for them before. But it's actually not good for Nigerian football, because we want to see our players in these kind of leagues, because Al Ahly, when you call it an African football, you know, Al Ahly is right there with the rest of them, you understand? So for being a player who plays in Africa, Al Ahly is where you want to be, you know? So maybe he might find himself elsewhere, maybe in a Salernitana or a Crotone or a Spezia somewhere.
Or possibly FC Kaza. I just believe he has given what he has. He coming to the league for the first season, he got 12 goals, 7 assists. That's impressive for a start after 39 or 38 matches. Now he has played five years in that
league season
in that Cairo or Egypt. He has given a whole lot after scoring almost 50 goals, let's say 40-something goals now. For him to have given all these things, and the coach happened not to be his favorite man, or somehow, somewhat, the management is not in good terms with him, terminating his contract, it doesn't stop him from shining. He just had to put his thoughts together and work extraordinarily hard and tactically look forward to what's the offer coming like now. So he will go elsewhere and exploit. He's a very fantastic player, if you ask me. So he has nothing to lose. He's still very young, 25 for now, and the future look bright for him. So he should just look forward to more opportunities elsewhere.
Well, we've been talking concerning Junior Ajayi, a Nigerian international playing in Egypt. Well, the business with Al Ahly has actually come to an end, although it didn't end well. It has to be controversial. Hopefully, we won't be hearing that they're owing him or thereabout. Well, Ajayi has been with that team for the past 5 years. He's scored a lot of goals, but it's not going well. He has to pass away. We wish him all the best. Hopefully, he can get a better club that will get him. But I look at something. I noticed that most Nigerians that play, or not even only Nigerian, most West African players rather, that plays in North Africa, they don't really find it easy. Most of them, either they leave being paid, they're not being paid well before they leave, taking them to FIFA or thereabout, and some you see them leaving the club out of controversy, a lot of reasons. I still don't understand why it's always happening that way.
I think maybe it's the cultures are different when you look at it. There are different cultures and the different ways of doing things. Coming from West Africa, going to North Africa, there's the way they actually think. There's actually way they do their things. So it's somehow alien to us. We West Africans are actually used to doing things in a certain way. So I think that cultural difference and the way things are being done there has an effect on the way our players.
What about Europe?
Well, Europe is quite different. Europe is quite different. You understand. There's like there's like a unified standard when it comes to doing business in Europe or playing football in Europe.
They do it better.
Yes, they know how to.
More
they know
professionally,
how to do it better.
possibly.
Exactly.
I think the weather factor is also something that might be a challenge, if possible. The cultural differences too, like you said.
Well, they've all spoken concerning the topics on 360 Sports this hour. Good to have Sunday Nuyelum and Ibrahim Mohammed in the studio.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, that does it on 360 Sports on Trust TV. Do not forget to join us on our social media platforms. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.